Can we curse?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Can we?
Today, we have an extra special guest joining us, the co-founder of the Cusp app, the founder of the 11th House Astrology. It's Kira Taborn, aka The Astrology, joining us today. And we are talking about the astrology of Harlem. So flip a tarot card, light a candle, charge your crystals. We're about to get in the stars.
Should we start with Camille? Star of the show. Sweet Camille.
Women, be the boss. Demand change when you want it. Stop apologizing so damn much.
To me, shockingly, we find out she's a Gemini. I was blown away. I'm like, what do you mean Gemini?
Plus, I'm a summer baby anyway.
Gemini.
I thought the first 3 episodes, I thought the Camille was a Sagittarius, which is, if you don't know, Sagittarius and Gemini are polarities. They're opposite signs. I thought that, her being a professor and she has great fashion. Sagittarians are known for taking big swings in fashion. She has like a different look kind of in every episode, and especially in the flashbacks. I guess to me, I was thinking so Sagittarius, so maybe she has a Sag moon since we find out she's a Gemini sun.
I was guessing Virgo for her for most of it. I just feel like she's she feels so like in her head a lot, kind of over analyzing, and she also, I don't know, there's something just super Mercury about her. So I wasn't too surprised with Gemini, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Especially she has this like kind of independence to her, she kind of just like bubbles around. I love her sense of style too. I feel like she might have Venus. I feel like she might be like a Gemini stellium even. I wouldn't be surprised. But Sag moon, I feel like could also make sense.
I agree with this combination of Gemini and Sag, but I say Gemini sun, I say Sag rising, because I get some Libra moon vibes from her, and that Sag rising would put her Gemini sun in the 7th house if we're whole signing, which would, I think, lend a little more to her romanticism, a little bit more of her pining, a little bit more, I think Gemini also is a pretty romantic. They aren't sappy romantic, but they're the twins. They are always kind of looking for a partner or wanting to recognize themselves in another person. And I think that we don't traditionally think of it as a super romantic sign, but I've known so many hopeless romantic Geminis. So that's not as surprising to me. But I do think that she wants to come off a little more cool and aloof and kind of big picture, which is why I like this Sag rising. But she is so mercurial and, fickle in a lot of ways. But I think Libra moon, because I think having that air moon would also mean that she's kind of bopping around. She's bubbly because she's so popular and likable and sociable. And not to say that Gemini and Sag aren't those things, but I think there's a little bit more of like the
charm.
Yeah. And because she cares and she wants to be liked in a way that I don't associate necessarily with Gemini and Sag energy.
I do want to reiterate, confirm with Geminis being secret lovesick freaks too, because I think it also is that like wind up in the idea. I like the Sag rising too because of the sun 7th house stuff, but also I'm gonna throw out a Pisces moon. I mean, she's crying into ice cream. It's just like it's a little much, and that would put her in the 4th house too of home, because she has this big idea. I love that scene with her therapist, just of like, I had this dream and it was when I was 18 and it was this, and it's like, so did that all work out? And it was just such a real read when she finally went and saw her therapist. So, she's the doctor of love, and I feel like Pisces, I see a lot of Jupiter, Neptunian energy for her too. I like the Venus, but yeah, when I saw her tweeting up a storm, I'm like, that's a Gemini. that is a Gemini walking and tweeting down the streets of Harlem. Like, hear me roar, baby. I got things to get off my chest. But she wants that fairy tale. And it's like you root for her in that Pisces kind of like, oh, Camille, come on. Like,
yeah,
get it together, girl.
My first like idea for sun sign was Pisces. I was thinking for a while for her. Because she does, I feel like there's a lot of main characters in TV shows that have that sort of Pisces energy where it's like they just have this hopefulness to them, this like fantasy sort of, romantic aspect to them too, which I feel like is super Pisces. So yeah, I'm not against Pisces. Maybe there's like Mars and Pisces or something.
Yeah.
Water's afoot for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
I love
Definitely
this quote
Cancer
for her
too.
for her Gemini sun. I think because Gemini are the twins, and I think having that kind of reflection of yourself, or like as a lens for life. She talks about in the beginning in season 1, episode 1, she says the only thing we can truly control is ourselves. And I just see that in Geminis. I think they're self-aware, they're good helpers, but they know that helping someone, it doesn't like mean they're going to help you back. They're just good in that way. So I see that for sure as a Gemini quote for Camille.
So I think we've covered Camille. I feel like we have a good sense of what's happening. Let's move on to Ian. I'm thinking he has a fire moon. I went back and forth about this.
For sure.
I'm leaning Aries moon, but I could be swayed to either sign. I can see a Leo moon too, but I'm going fire moon. I think also Capricorn sun. Again, he's super like ambitious and goal oriented, but it's in a way that's like for him, eyes on the prize. He wants to ascend, but he also wants to like thrive in existing structures in a way that's very Capricorn to me, like wants that approval of the establishment. And then I'm gonna throw out I initially said Cancer rising, but I do think I'm gonna amend to a Taurus rising. Because there's a lot of like sensuality there and chillness and aloofness that I think that kind of like tricks you because he's got that impulsive, I'm gonna stick with my Aries moon then too, because that would put that like I like this square energy, and it kind of like, oh yeah, I'm chill, I like cook and I smoke weed, like whatever. I don't know why this is always happening to me, and then it's like you're making all of these choices.
Well, I had him pegged as a Taurus sun, and I hate doing that because I'm a Taurus sun, and I'm like, I hate to see myself in this, person that like, doesn't have a plan and has a plan. It's all me, and it's like, it's unfortunate when you have to see that play out on TV. But I was thinking a Taurus sun with a Scorpio moon, thinking again back to that full moon thing, thinking, he and Camille maybe kind of see the world the same way. They're both always in that state of like trying to define themselves, finding their internal needs, finding it in one another, finding it in themselves, all that kind of stuff. So thinking, maybe they're both this full moon baby, and having that in common being the thing that keeps them coming back to each other. I also think that he has some mysterious nature about him. He doesn't seem to have social media, or, you know what I mean? He has that kind of Scorpio mystery about him, not knowing at all that a proposal was coming, very Scorpio. The Taurus stuff, I've dated Taurus men's, horrible experience in my opinion. I am a Taurus, so I'm saying that, go ahead and you can say it in the comments, but I'm saying it as well. Like, we're always not easy to date. Definitely one that got away vibes. I think the chef thing, very Taurus, where, food is like again, we're getting into stereotypes, but that's like a Taurus thing. And I don't know. I think that it's the same quote that Julia said, like the major Taurus vibes quotes where, they're smoking weed outside and he says it's legal now. And she goes, no, it's not. And that's so Taurus to me. It's like, we love rules, but we like to make up our own and then expect everyone else to follow them.
Oh, relax. It's legal now.
No, it's not.
I also pegged him as a Taurus sun. I'm right there with you. I'm Taurus sun, Sag moon, Leo rising. Yeah, I think that they share a Sag moon. I think that's what that spark is. I also feel like he's like Taurus sun with Venus in Gemini. That's like, I don't know. I just feel like that's the case.
I might be swayed to Julia's Aries moon because I was trying to link their Pisces moon. They have to share. I feel like they share some sort of placement. Something is shared afoot. But I kind of had a Leo rising too. Where do you pick up the Leo risingness, Kira?
I just feel like he's such a fixed bitch. Like, he just feels major fixed sign energy for me. And I feel like his chart ruler is also fixed. I feel like he's a Leo rising ruled by his Taurus sun in the 10th house. And that's like him needing to be seen as like this chef and, you know, kind of like that Cap energy, but like it's more so about like how he's being perceived and wanting to kind of achieve some sort of prominence.
Well, and also, I don't know if it's, I'm curious y'all's thoughts. I feel like no one runs harder on spite than a fixed sign too. And like, I think her dumping his ass basically for being kind of a schlub and then just like schlub, like
Exactly.
this, well, check me out. Like, I don't think it's as explicit, but there's like that undertone kind of like, well, you didn't like come with me on my glow up, you know, and here I am glowed up. But this man is a Cancer. I get a bit of Cancer energy. I mean, he is cooking, nourishing, actually like mama's boy as we see moving into mom's house, juggling with, like, there's that soft Cancer energy that's dangerous, right? Like, especially like in dating where it's just like, oh no. And also, I mean, I like this Pisces moon. Maybe he's not as watery. I like the Aries moon too. Maybe a Taurus moon. But I like the Leo rising because I feel like he's sun moon energy. Like he is this strong sexiness, but then also this like real softness. And I mean, he's just a hot man that will ruin your life.
Yeah.
And also feed you.
Let's move on. Let's talk about Dr. Pruitt.
Hello.
Hello. Take care.
I love to call her Dr. P. I think she would hate that, so I'm going to start with that. I think she's a Capricorn. I think she's a Cap stellium. I think there's no way there's no Capricorn in her chart. She's so straightforward, no gushing. She's honest. She's worked her way up. You can tell she's fought to get where she is. That's Capricorn represented by the goat climbing to the top of that mountain. Capricorn's also like the structure of things, knowing what things look like from the outside. She knows like how about being a part of culture, observing it from the outside. At one point she says to Camille that she's just stopped listening to her. Very Capricorn. She does care about timeliness, about the way things look, the way things seem. All of these things are very Capricorn.
There are two things I cannot abide. One is lateness, and the other is inappropriate cleavage in the workplace. Boom, boom. Guilty 2 times.
I get major Saturn vibes. I agree with all of the Capricorn stuff, but I do think that there is something that makes me want to say Aquarius too. And maybe this is, too surface of a read of thinking of that like college professor dean kind of thing too. That's sort of Aquarian to me. But I think that she does seem to have a bit of an anti-authority, even though she is in authority kind of bent to her. She is not as, I don't know, maybe it's not fair of me to think of Capricorn as so traditional, but it does feel more traditional than Aquarius. And I think that she has this kind of, I don't know, rebellious, anti-authoritarian, and she's so concerned with like, she does not respect Camille's popularity or likability or sociability at all. And I think that that's Capricorn, but it also is very Aquarian to me, of this kind of like authenticity thing, very like punk rock. She's part of the establishment, but she also is like here to change it and it up.
I would counter that being Aquarius to having potentially Saturn and Aries. My read on her is 10th house Cap stellium, with Saturn and Aries in the first house, and mutual reception with Mars and Capricorn. I just feel like she's so malefic, so Saturn in the first house, like the boundary thing. But yeah, I would say that sort of, she's like the anti-Saturn in that way, having Saturn in fall and Aries, kind of like anti-authority in some ways, although still being the authority, still being the Saturnian. Yeah, maybe Aquarius moon is what I would say.
I think too, there's definitely, I get some Scorpio. Maybe it's just like Whoopi's Scorpio self really coming through in this role as well. But Dr. P just gives Camille nothing, and Gemini's not getting validated is pure torture. So it's so, I mean, their scenes are just so good to watch with each other. Someone just being like, I'm a puppy, please pet me. And she's like, I hate dogs. Like, go away. But I think too, just thinking, I don't know what I'm even like pegging her in the Scorpio department, but I like Cap and Scorpio in that it's kind of a challenge. Like, I know she's not giving her any of that push that like, yes, you're doing a good job, but I do think she's rooting for her underneath. Like, I think it's just like, for example, when she's like, yeah, you're not getting, spoiler alert, you're not getting the promotion. And she's like, oh, okay. And she's like, don't you want to know why? Like, I am slightly trying to mentor you. And I just want to see you fight for yourself.
I like a Scorpio moon for her, maybe. Well, I wouldn't want to interview her for her. That's for sure. I'd be scared. I'm just saying it. But, you know, she made her decisions and we've made ours. Dr. P.
Cap legend.
Truly.
That's been the Astrology of Harlem. If you liked this, sound off in the comments. We will be back with even more astrology and more characters. But let us know what you think and tell us what other shows you'd like us to cover.
It is true. Follow Kira. Kira is thebomb.com. And if you liked this video, then you'll probably like our podcast. What's Your Sign? There's new episodes every Monday. We're a comedy astrology podcast. Come through. Let us know that you found us through In the Stars. We love when you let us know, when you rate and review. And we'll see you next time.
Whoa, oh my God. I see the
See you later. We have to try everything right.
Hello. This and like
I don't care about the show. I just want a good blooper reel.
I want to learn science.
You guys are going to make me look like I'm in the show, right? You're going to put in the effects. Replace the green. I don't want to look like an asshole here.
Sorry.